Hey everybody, I'm Adam.
And I'm Chris.
And this is the Gamers Hall.
And today we're going to be talking about one of the power builds, the Crossbow Expert Sharpshooter power build. Why it's good, why it's bad, why it can be a headache for the DM, and how to balance encounters or situations for players that are using that build.
So, first off, what is this build? What makes it tick?
Okay, so first off, you get it doesn't matter what order you get them in, but Sharpshooter.
Okay.
No disadvantage for long range attacks. You ignore half and 3/4 covers with ranged attacks.
Yep.
And the -5 to attack to get a +10 to damage with ranged weapons you are proficient with.
Okay.
And that right there is one of the biggest problems, because archers already, if you get the archery fighting style,
+2 to hit.
You already get the +2 to hit.
Right.
So that's technically just a -3.
Yeah. So,
But
it's just not a
anyways,
big deal. It's a
so the next
15% reduction in hit.
the next thing is Crossbow Expert.
Okay.
So you ignore the loading property on crossbows you're proficient with.
Mm-hmm.
No disadvantage for being within 5 feet when making ranged attacks. And you when you use the attack action to attack with a one-handed weapon, you can use a bonus action to attack with a hand crossbow.
Okay.
So essentially, this is the John Wick build.
Basically, the gunslinger build. This is the guy that walks into town and
this is
pulls out a gun. Basically that's what he's doing. He's 6-shooter going at it.
He's either being the John Wick or he's being the crazy sniper.
Yeah. So,
and the biggest problem is just the amount of damage that this build. There's many different ways to make it. Fighters, rangers, the artificer now.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest problem is just how much damage it puts out, and there's so many things that all those minuses you would have and the disadvantage, that's all gone now.
Yeah.
So because what I've literally seen, our friend Aaron, he soloed Adult Green Dragon with what level ranger was he?
He's like 6 or something like that.
A 6 level ranger soloed an adult dragon by himself. So
yeah,
the other players didn't have to do anything. That's
poor planning though.
Yeah, yeah. But let's focus on the good of this build. What is the good of this build? High damage.
Right. It's awesome. Blow something away. Yeah. Hand cannon. Got him.
Very few minuses.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a whole lot of minuses to your attack. You're not going to have a whole lot of disadvantage because all that's gone now.
Yeah. So it plays the numbers. It every advantage in the number situation it's doing. So the mathematicians of this game go, well, it's got range. I don't get hit. It's got damage output. It dies fast. It has small amounts of downsides, which means I'm gonna hurt it quicker. So number game. So it's great for numbers.
Yeah, and
that's the advantage.
Yeah, and depending on how you make it, you could have high AC with high damage output as well.
That's true. Yeah.
There's a lot of goods. Just being able to kill things super quick, being able to kill things from far away, and really, was it the sharpshooter? Man, yeah, you don't have to worry about range. You don't have to worry about things getting up close on you. You're gonna do high damage. You already get the extra pluses from the archery fighting style, which has a ranger, as a fighter, whatever class you take, you're going to pick that up. And then, especially if you're a fighter, you get the action surge. That's just more pop, 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 pop. I feel like this build every time 2 levels of fighter is a given.
Yeah. Anytime somebody builds this, it's going to have 2 levels of fighter.
Yeah. So a 5th level fighter, essentially, if you do the -5 plus 10.
Yeah.
If you hit with all 5 of those attacks, if you hit with the normal 2, action surge, that's another 2. That bonus action attack, that's 50 damage, not including what you're going to roll, what your other bonuses are. Just that.
A 5th level human variant fighter can do this. He will have sharpshooter. He will have crossbow expert.
Yes.
And 2 attacks, action surge, possible high AC if you felt like going that direction. Hit points, and no real downsides.
Yeah.
Okay. It's strong. That's the advantage. It's really nice.
Really strong.
It will feel good. I can see why why people would be drawn to that.
Oh yeah. You're really John Wicking it up. Just pow, 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 pow. Like first round of combat, you could lay out 5 dudes no problem.
I mean, it sounds fun.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't see why that would be so bad. Why is that so bad?
Yeah. The bad thing is, one, the other characters aren't really going to be doing a whole lot of anything because your character could pretty much solo most things. There's 10 orcs, you'll have them done in 2 rounds.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, most likely.
Most likely, unless they've gotten some other crazy thing.
Yeah, I mean, your standard orc.
Right, yeah.
And then, solo creatures, don't even put a solo creature against any group that has this power build in it, because unless you're playing on tripling his HP or something, because he's just that's what, first round of combat without rolling anything. If he hits, which is to hit is probably going to be pretty high, 50 damage without any of the pluses, without rolling any dice.
Yeah,
it's that's rough. I mean, your average solo creature has anywhere from around fifth level,
70 plus hit points, something like that. I mean, if you're starting off the lower,
they're gonna get killed that first round of combat.
Yeah, I can see that being a problem.
So, problem for the DM. Problem is the DM's gonna have to throw stuff that's way harder than it should be. So if the party's not power players as well, then there's a chance that you might end up actually downing or killing some of the other player characters very easily.
Right. Yeah, because you have to up your damage output to scare them in order to stop it. So the bad part is that it creates a one-man army.
Oh, yeah.
Which is not fun for other players. It creates a bad situation for the DM because he has to put things there that would not normally be in this fight or this instance. So, all right. So what do we want to do to...
Also, the amount of rage a player would get if you actually made this build and sent it after the players.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine? Yeah, the sniper that comes after them. Yeah,
they would be so angry.
Dead shot. I mean, basically.
Dead shot. Yeah,
that's basically what it is. He's not gonna miss. He's gonna.
Dead shot or bullseye.
Just a constant. More dead shot because he uses gun. Bullseye those things.
Yeah.
Also, could be Hawkeye in some sense. But anyway, that would be funny though. That's a great way to teach them their lesson though. First counterspell, use it against them.
So
it's okay, we'll have a gunfight.
You could literally, at 5th level players, you could literally, with that many attacks, you could drop two players easily.
Yeah.
Easily. And maybe 3 if they're casters or something on the little lower HP side.
Especially if they don't see it coming.
Oh, yeah.
If you've added a little rogue in there and had some assassin build to it,
Dude, make him a Gloomstalker Ranger.
Gloomstalker Ranger, yeah. I mean, depending on how high you got up to that, they could be done.
Oh, definitely.
But we got to think of the way to balance this. Because obviously, there's a lot of DMs
it's going to be taking away from the players, or from the other players in the group. It's going to be hard to do any kind of solo creature. There's never going to be a solo monster at that point. So, like, yeah, how do you balance this?
Well, the first way I'd balance this, and I know this can kind of be countered fairly easily, but the first way you balance this is actually more of a long-range build. Most people use this for long range. Yes, the hand crossbow part, going, well, I'm going to attack with this and I'm going to shoot a bunch of times the hand crossbow. That's part of Crossbow Expert. But what most people are doing with it is they're getting from longer range. Yeah, they're using the hand crossbow. But they're trying
120 feet.
They're trying to take somebody out far away before they ever get to them. All right. Well, as a DM in your battle, in your terrain that you're going to set up spots where he can't find somebody. He doesn't have a direct line of sight. You got to make it to where that thing or things can close the distance on him and add that pressure. Sure, he can deal with the fight when it's next to him because, yeah, he can still shoot. But he is now in danger. So you create that pressure on him. Make something pop up from underneath him. Make something...
hand keg?
Yeah, a hand keg pop out of the ground.
Or a bullet?
Even more fun because then it jumps up and clomps them and chomps them down. But make sure that person doesn't have that direct, perfect firing range sight where they just get to stand in one place and go boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, because you in order to avoid this person, you have to have total concealment because half and 3/4 cover, they don't. Yeah. They ignore it.
Yeah.
So you have to get full concealment.
Yeah, they're just create walls that something would jump back and forth between until he closes the distance.
Darkness spell.
Darkness, invisibility.
Yep, darkness spell, invisibility, blinks, teleports. Maybe making like a shield wall.
Yeah. High AC. The downside of this is this person's going to want to spend, that -5 to get the +10. Well, he's knocking himself down by -3. Well, if you just create situations that they're going to get another bonus to their AC, or even impose disadvantage on the person, because there can be ways that you can impose disadvantage through spells or certain terrain setups or conditions like poisoning them. Fight this guy in poison mist. Like, okay, you want to fight my green dragon?
Hey, throw a fog cloud up.
Yeah, total concealment.
Because that's total concealment. It's not half or 3/4. It's total concealment. First level spell.
Yeah, Ice Dragon can somehow access the fog cloud. And create a
it spins its dragon's breath to literally make a fog cloud. I could definitely see that.
Yes, just come up with inventive ways to close the distance on this person. Because once you do, yes, they might go for that huge armor build. Most likely they haven't. Most likely they've gone for I'm going to be light on my feet, and I'm going to be around a 15, 16 AC probably, maybe a 17 if they have a high dex or something, and then you just take them out that way. But I see your face is very happy. What did you just think of?
Well, what's your favorite class?
Monk.
Throw some monks at them.
Stunning Fist.
Catch arrows. Deflect arrows.
Oh, yeah. Even better. My reaction, catch it, throw it back. Hey, you can do a bunch of damage? Well, I can just hit you with it.
Yeah. I'll just catch it, fling it back at you. Or I'll just catch it. So it's like, okay. Like, how much damage are you doing with those arrows? I got them.
Yeah. And then just really get up there and go, stun, stun, stun. There are creatures in the monster manual that could be monks, could have access. And of course, there's definitely one that was in Mordekainen's Tome of Foes, the the Hobgoblin, Iron Fist Hobgoblin.
I know which one you're talking about.
But basically, it's a shadow monk. Why not? Why not let them have a stunning fist? It's not all around a possibility.
The deflect arrows.
Yeah. I used something last night that was I used as if it was a monk, and had it do monk-like abilities on our monk character, and knock the crap out of them really quick. Mm-hmm. main point, first way to deal with this is create a situation that they can't just shoot down a line and take it out.
Yeah.
Close distance.
Like we understand like all of their disadvantage. This build takes away all the disadvantages of a ranged character, but the main disadvantage that you can't ignore is total concealment.
Right.
Busting up a fog cloud, everybody charge straight. That's easy, basic 101 combat tactics for anybody right there. Putting up a darkness spell and running straight towards the person. You can't see them.
Yeah.
So,
another fun way, this is a high level way to balance it, but put them in a force bubble. Put them in a wall of force.
Oh, yeah.
I've used it before. I have literally put characters in a wall of force, not doing damage to them. They can't resist it. You just go, boop, you're in a box, you're in a sphere, and just let them sit in it.
Use the command spell and tell them to throw, so they throw their weapon.
Yeah, you could do that.
You're disarming them essentially.
Yeah, they don't have their weapon and they can't do anything to you. They have to take time to go pick it up.
Yeah, because telling them to run wouldn't be advantageous at all because they're
going to do that anyway.
They got range.
Yeah, they're going to move 30 feet backwards anyway and shoot back.
Yeah, so like telling them to get rid of their weapon.
Right. Another fun thing you can do is remember that characters can drop prone, and then you have disadvantage to shoot something that's prone.
Isn't it a free action to drop prone at any point in time?
Something like that, yeah. Something can just go, no, I'm done. And man, would that irritate that crossbow expert person.
Oh, so bad.
Just all of a sudden, what do you mean it went prone? What do you mean I have to roll a disadvantage? That's crap, man. It's like, well, you obliterate everything I throw at you. So deal with the one easy mechanic that is built into the game, going prone.
Yeah. And it's a free action, like at any point in time. Yeah. It's like, oh, he's like, bam, I take 3 shots at that person. He's dropping prone.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he sees you doing it. Like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, he has to do that on his turn. No. Free action you can do anytime.
Right.
I so hope I'm right on that one.
If not, let's house rule it, because it's usually a bad thing to drop prone. You don't want to be prone.
Yeah, unless you're 120 feet away from somebody.
It's perfectly fine.
But, I mean, how many times does the military do that? Crawling through trenches just trying to get to people because it's harder to hit the small target.
Yeah. You need to give them somewhat of an advantage in their own fight. So, like we talked about, the dragon using its frost breath, create a fog cloud. Well, you could also have something that's resistant to piercing damage.
Yeah, like the trees.
Treants.
Yeah, treants. They have resistance to piercing damage.
Yeah. Create situations that don't necessarily work. I mean, also you've got mages that can just go shield, or
how funny would it be if there was like a necromancer who had the cursed shield where all the arrows get sucked into it, and he just had like a zombie that was holding the shield.
Yeah,
so it literally just walked. So it's like shook, 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 shook.
I mean,
sucker!
It's a perfect way to counter this build, because
with a cursed item.
If you have an intelligent villain, then he's probably going to figure out some way to counter the heroes that are coming after him. And if he knows that this one hero can obliterate him from distance, then why don't we just make that work for him?
Yeah.
You can do lots of different ways of just messing with that character's ability. To get in there with, magic items, durable creatures.
They still got to keep track of their arrows.
Yeah, they still got to keep track of their... you know what?
How are they carrying all that?
You know what? A sneaky character can easily stop this one. Or sneaky creature can easily stop...
Steal their arrows?
Yeah, steal their arrows. Steal their bolts, because it's a crossbow. So you steal all their bolts. Just have a...
Unless it's an artificer.
That's true. Unless they make magical stuff.
The repeating crossbow infusion.
Yeah. Which, that's new to the game.
Yeah, but still stealing the arrows, that's a good one.
Steal the bolts. Have a mob of goblins come up there and fight them, and then one goblin's like, haha, sucker, and then just takes all the bolts. Or,
that's the one to worry about. Run!
Yeah. I mean, there's You could also, depending on what the crossbow is made out of, you could heat metal it. Magic spell.
Oh,
and then it's like, if you want to shoot me, well, I'm going to hide behind this thing and concentrate on heat metal. Depending on, your trigger probably is metal. It's probably made out of wood.
I mean,
it just depends on what you do with it.
I feel like most crossbows had some bit of metal on them back in the day.
They would, because the firing mechanism was. It was made out of metal.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it was primarily wooden stock. And then usually the bow
they usually had like a thin steel casing too.
But there's most of the upgraded versions would have metal supports and stuff. And just heat metal and say, okay, fine, hold on to it for now if you want to.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one way to stop it. I feel like we're talking about lots of ways to screw over the Crossbow Expert Sharpshooter. What's a way to balance this without ruining their fun? You definitely don't want to create a situation that you're picking on the Crossbow Expert. Although, here's another way to counter this one, because I know that the players that is with this Crossbow Expert are going to get real bored of him just shooting something down.
You attack from two different positions. So maybe the crossbow sharpshooter, he has to be a sharpshooter. He has to attack the spellcasters who are doing range combat over there, while the party is dealing with the onslaught of orcs that are attacking them. It's like, listen, I need you guys to protect me while I take care of this.
Okay, so instead of ruining his fun, make him the integral part of the plan. We have to make sure that he survives in order to make sure we survive. So,
be he shooting things from far away, shooting at the flying creatures, and then while your other character is just like, look, listen, guys, I need y'all to take care of this down here, so I can take care of what's up there or over there.
Variety is a great way to counter this a little bit, or help it balance it out.
Right.
All in all, though, I've seen multiple people do this power build, and I've DM'd it several times now. I personally have never had an instance where I felt like this was too overpowered, but I have had it irritate the crap out of me.
But I could definitely see that.
I mean, when a dragon comes flying out of the sky and then suddenly gets brought down by a hail of bolts, sounds really awesome. Really sucks when you're meaning to do something else with that dragon. But it's not as bad as people want to make it out.
We don't want to discourage people from making power builds, because we know that some people just have fun doing that. But it's more about not being too hard on the DM with the power build and working with the other players. Like those are two of the main things.
Yeah. And this crossbow bolt, I think, is one of the most egregious of the power builds, just because it out of all the ones I've ever heard about, this one creates the least amount of fun for everybody involved. But numbers game, it's one of the best.
Yeah, it really is.
So, but I feel like that's pretty much covered it on this particular one. And if you guys had any comments about this, or maybe an extra way of dealing with this situation, or maybe a horror story that you've dealt with this particular build, put it down in the comments. Let us know.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you guys like this video and like the content we're putting out.
Yeah, share it around. Let everybody know. We would like to talk about more of these things, and maybe you might even have another power build that we might not talk about or haven't even thought about that you can present to us, and we can see how that works.
Yeah, and how we would balance encounters for that, or
create roleplay situations to help make that build not so bad, or at least tamp it down to where it's manageable.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
But that's it for this episode, guys.
Yep.
Keep rolling those nat 17s.
17 is it's a prime number.
Yeah.
Not divisible by anything except for itself.
Way to go, Optimus.
Thank you. I don't know what that had to do with prime numbers other than you just said Optimus Prime. But
I just know how much you like Optimus Prime.
I do. I love Optimus Prime. Anyway, see you guys later.
Take care, guys.